Hey there, calculus fans. Going to continue here. In the previous video, I talked about how you rewrite expressions so that you're ready to take derivatives. In this video, I'm going to talk about these four forms in separate videos just to break it up. So first, if you have sums and coefficients, let's talk about that now. So these are 10 questions from, if you go to our exam archive, it's right here. You just have to click on extra derivative practice. You can find things like this anywhere. You know, at this point in this particular course, we've only learned the power rule. And so if we haven't taken derivatives of logs, and so anybody watching this video, we don't have that piece. So first, let's be a calculus student. We're going to write this, and watch the previous video if you don't know this part. You're going to write it this way. X to the negative 1/3. Done. There's nothing to rewrite here. There's nothing to rewrite here. This is negative 2t to the 9. I did this in the previous video. This is x. There's a root here. So you would write x 9 minus 4x to the 1/2. This is 1 plus x squared to the 1/4. This is x. So this is stuff you do without even thinking. Watch my previous video, that step 0 video. This is x to the 1/2 minus x to the negative 1/2. Okay, so of those 10 problems, ask yourself, which one of them are an A plus B problem? And what I include in that is it could be plus or it could be minus. Meaning something where if you held the function next to these four things, which ones look like a sum? That's this one. This one looks like a fraction. This one looks like a product. This one I guess is not a sum, but I'm still going to deal with it in this video. And this one. So there's only 3 here. Before we do those, I'll do a simpler example. So if I have a function that's like 5x to the 10th plus 3x to the 4th plus 2x to the 3rd plus 5x plus 7. We've done this quite a bit in class, but here's how it goes. You can use that power rule for each one. The power rule is bring down the power and subtract 1. The only special cases of the power rule, which we've talked about in class, is if you have a constant, the derivative is 0. You can think of it as the power being 0, or you can just think of it as a horizontal line has slope 0. The derivative of x is 1. Some students tell me it's helpful for them to think of it this way, but you can also just think about the slope. So this is going to be 5 times 1. So those are kind of special rules. Maybe you want to think of them, I don't know. But the rest of your job is that the coefficients and the sums and the differences, let's throw in a difference somewhere. Let's say this was a minus. They just come along for the ride. That's it. That's what the sum and coefficient rules say. And then you're just left with the derivative of this, the derivative of this, the derivative of this. And that's the power rule. I mean, you could even think of the derivative of this as being 1. So then you just do 10x to the 9th, 4x to the 3rd, and you multiply this. 3x squared. And that should really become second nature. A student who's been doing calculus for a couple days is going to start saying this. Minus 6x squared plus 5. And we really need that to be routine. So of these problems, only ones where you can immediately do that are this one. So now we're going to take the derivative. So y prime is going to be 1/3 x to the negative 2/3. So I did a couple things there, I guess. I shouldn't have done that so quickly. But I pulled the 1/3 out in front, and then I subtracted 1. Some students tell me they have to go in the margins to do that, to figure out. And that's fine. Again, this will get better. It will definitely get better if you actually compute it yourself and don't look somewhere else. And then this one, the power comes down, which is going to be plus a minus 1/3, or you could just have written minus. And then you're going to subtract 1 again. So we need to subtract 1 from this. So it's negative 1/3 minus 3/3. It's going to be negative 4/3. This one right here, the coefficient's going to come along for the ride. So y prime is going to be negative 2. And you're going to bring down the exponent, which is negative 3/4. Put the parentheses there so it didn't look like I was subtracting. So I'm going to multiply. And then you're going to subtract. So let's play that game. We need to know what happens when we subtract 1 from negative 3/4 minus 1. That's going to be negative 3/4 minus 4/4. So it's going to be negative 7/4. That one's done. What about this one? Y prime is going to be 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. And then it's going to be plus 1/2 because I'm bringing down this negative. And then you need to do negative 1/2 minus 1, which is negative 3/2. That's it. So I'm going to stop this video there. I think you can get that. Most students are getting that piece, but I did want to make a separate one on that piece. That's what you do if your entire expression is the sum of two separate things, which in our list of 10 things, there were only 3 of those.